Hey everybody, I'm back with another, I want to say semi-decent review for Avatar Fire and Ash. It's not a bad movie. It's not at all bad. There's going to be a 50-50, right? I'm going to talk about the good first, and then I'm going to talk about what I kind of didn't like about the movie. But let's talk about the good. Visually, man, if I actually like 3D, I think this movie would be stunning, right? Ever since 2000, I want to say, I think the movie came out in 2009. Ever since the first movie came out, they've just kind of stepped up the visuals and the sound effects and everything for it just being this good. Man, CGI needs to take a big look in the mirror next year because Avatar just blown out this year after kind of like a 50-50 on some CGI stuff. Man, I think movies need to really just take the time to build these movies up. Not we can do it in 1 year and make the CGI look good. No, no. James Cameron has taken what has it been since 2022 since we saw Way of Water, and that's not even counting if he did scenes back in 2022. Come on, CGI needs to step up. I'm sorry, but the CGI for this movie, beautiful. Creatures looked amazing. The water effects still look amazing from Way of the Water. It's just sad, man, that CGI's gotten this bad, but it looks good on this movie. I almost said game because I'm so used to saying games. um, Story, it's not bad. It's just pretty clear cut water. This new clan of the Fire Clan is just kind of, I want to say they're like just raiders and they just want what's for them, but they kind of don't like the mother and all them. Like they don't believe in that stuff. They're like, oh, we've been abandoned by them, which makes sense. This story does delve deep into what do you believe is actually working or is at work here. Or is it really just pure like, oh, luck, or is it actually the mystic forces of the Great Mother and all them listening and working to help Jake and all them? It's very well taught, and then it talks about like the ways and how they have to change to get these humans off their planet so they can stop coming and using their resources because colonization does look pretty sad. And it's sad because it kind of shows us how we're doing it to our earth. And that's one message I do like from this movie. It makes you think like, dang, are we really doing this to our planet? If you don't see it, you don't see it. But for me, I'm kind of that person that's like, dang, this is actually kind of sad. These people and even the creatures, man. The creatures, they have their own language. The Navi understand them. They communicate with them. They describe their terrible ways of what's going on. The old ways of what the animals used to live by. It's so incredibly insane that I actually feel for the animals in this movie. I'm not even joking. I actually wanted the whales to win because I'm sick of how they treated the whales in the second and in this movie. I'm sick of it. I want retribution for my whales out there, man. It's just sad that, you know, they even showed a scene in here that I think it's kind of recollection of what the second movie was, that, you know, it showed them hunting the whales because, again, they need I think, whatever is in their system to help de-aging or something. And it's like, is that really what we've come to with that? That's kind of sad. But yeah, overall the story's good. Again, I just feel for these animals, man. And they get their comeuppance in this movie. All of them do. Every animal that kind of gets hunted and killed and kind of used and abused, that kind of shows that they don't mess around when it comes to this stuff, and I like it. I prefer it that way. Keep showing the hatred against the humans for what they do to these poor things and how they treat their planet. The family is still good. I still like the dynamic they have. It's kind of been, kind of changed in this movie a little bit because Neytiri's, a mother grieving, and after everything that's going on, they just want what's best for their family. Jake has to make hard decisions in this movie, which does show. It's not cookie cutty, just basic stuff. There's actually a scene in here that actually almost made me go, "Oh, he's serious. He ain't playing." And if you guys see the movie, you'll see which scene I'm talking about. You'll know when it's coming. And it kind of threw me for a loop. I was like, dang, Jake is not playing anymore. Like, yeah, you've been through this stuff for so many years. You're tired of seeing your family being hunted. You're tired of seeing other people that now you're seeing and understanding. You're tired of seeing them being hurt by what your actions have caused or what your family's doing. You kind of want the best for them. And it kind of shows during this movie. That's one thing I do like about these movies is that Jake does see, like, man, am I really the right guy for all this still? Like, he kind of has that thing of like, if I do it, I'm gonna start like taking people again, and I like that about this movie. The the goods are still there, you know. The family is actually not at all annoying in this movie. I think I kind of found them annoying in the second movie, but in this movie they kind of had, again, for this movie being as long as it was, for 3 hours and 15 minutes, no scene felt out of place. There's a couple in there that I will explain, but those don't overshadow the movie at all. It's more or less that no scene felt unused. You know how some movies just have like these stupid scenes that go on for too long, or they just, it's like, why is this still here? James Cameron has actually proven many, many times that no scene felt like it didn't need to be there. And for 3 hours and 15 minutes, yes, it does feel long. And yes, you're kind of like, God dang, I kind of want this to be over. Towards the middle and the end, again, they kind of build up this thing of like, you know, it need to have that build up for this. And I see James Cameron's vision for that. You know, you built up these slow parts to them talking, to them doing this stuff, to them getting to this exact point on why they need to do it. That makes sense. There's still action. There's still great scenes. This is what most movies need to realize, is you can still show and tell, but you have to make it useful and a reason for the plot to progress. And that's what makes this movie a little bit better, in my sense, from the second one. Because the second one just was like, all right, we're really just talking about this clan most of the time. Like, there's scenes between Quaritch and Jake that felt needed. And that's what makes the story keep going. And even during their fights, it's like, they have like little banters between each other that they talk, and they're like, oh, you know, I'm still going to, you know, end up fighting you, and, you know, I'm going to take you in, whether you like it or not. But then they'll be like, they need to work together, or they just need to do this and that. It makes sense on why they have those scenes there. Even like towards the final battle between Quaritch and Jake, they kind of progressed of like, you know, well, we have to kind of do this together to win, or, you know, make sense of it. Now, for the bad. There's two scenes in here that kind of threw me off. So in the beginning, the Ash people find Jake, and or actually, it's during the battle between the Fire Clan and the Wind Clan, and it just took a deep turn. The Ash people actually took them down. It's kind of a messed up scene. It kind of shows you how the Ash people act. It's kind of deranged, and I kind of see why, you know. But so Quaritch finds out where Jake is, and him and his buddy go and find him. And during that scene, they get separated, and it took like a whole night for them to even find each other. But yet, then they're flying over the base, and I was like, wait, how did we get here? That's some things that I kind of want to have explained to me, like, how did we get here? How did Quaritch and his buddy get back to meeting each other when Quaritch literally got captured and escaped on his own? And then how did his buddy escape? Because it showed that his buddy got knocked out. So how did those two meet up? That's kind of one scene that I didn't like. That just explained itself somehow. Another is, if they're going to bring in a clan, like the Wind Clan, they're kind of different, and I like this. Why did we only get like 5 minutes of screen time with them and they never showed up again? You know, did they all get killed off during that? Did some of them escape and now they're hiding? What was the point of them being there? And I kind of want that to be a little thing, like, what happened? Not just, oh, they're gone, they're not here, cool. What do you mean? Where'd they go? Like, that's just something I need to explain for me, you know? Like, I just don't want them to be just shown and then just gone. I want them here, you know? If they show them in the next movie, then cool. I want them to be shown in the next movie. But those are the only two scenes that bothered me. Nothing else really struck me as bad. Oh, story-wise, this is where the story kind of threw me off. Beat for beat, it kind of did The Way of Water. James, you have to take risks. And I get you were kind of scared to do it with the third movie. You don't know what you're going to do fully, even though you could have really delved into the Ash people and the Wind people, maybe make them a rivalry gang, like against each other, or against the Water Tribe. I would have liked that. But this story felt beat for beat how Way of the Water was going. There's even a scene in there that they showed of the people hunting the whales. I thought it was an exact scene from the second one. I was like, why do I feel like I've seen this before? And it kind of clicked in my head. He might have used it. I don't know if he did. But it kind of felt like he just reused the scene from Way of the Water just to show them hunting them. And I'm like, but why did we need this? And it kind of threw me for a loop of like, I don't get why this is here at all. And it just didn't sit well with me that scene was there. So I don't know. I don't know if James is scared to take risks with this franchise. I hope in the fourth film we do. But I don't know. I just don't see him taking risks with the next one. And that's my fear for the next movie. Of like, if you're going to keep making these movies, I want risks. Start making things like, there was some scenes in here that made me feel like, dang, he could have taken more risks like this. Like the first one. That's what made the first one so better, because, you were actively, killing off people, characters that we were like, oh, dang, I actually like this character. I wonder what they do in that. Oh, they are gone. Like, I don't know. Even in the second one, he kind of took risks like that a little bit, but didn't really take it that far. In this one, it looked like he wanted to, but then he kind of backed down off of it. Like, there's some characters in here that do go, like, they're gonna, perish. I don't know if they had to, but then towards the end, they don't recollect any of their deaths. And I'm like, come on. You got to take the risks and show why and how these characters passed. They can't just go bye-bye and then next thing you know, they're just not caring about them. Overall, I give this movie a 7 out of 10. My 3 gripes with the movie: you gotta take risks. Give a better story. I'm tired of seeing Jake's family, be a pinnacle and then just them being captured out of random. Like, give it a reason why they're this way, or split them up and have them find their way back to them. Make the mother, the recollection of them, reasons why, they're this way. That doesn't take away from the movie. A 7 out of 10 to me is still good in my eyes. It's just those 3 things really do bring it down. Take the risks. Don't reuse the same story beats from 2 other movies. Make a different story beat. Give us something better with the 4th film, If this movie does good, then cool. I want to see him take those risks. But don't just make things happen just to happen. Alright? I want these stories to feel different, unique, just like how Pandora is. Different, unique, and we're here for the thrill and suspense, and we get to see more of this planet and them taking better, explore the planet. At this point, I want to see some ice, Na'vi. Give me the fire and ice. Oh, dang. If that's the 4th movie right there, James, go for it. Let's make this. Let's make it. Alright? I will fund it if you give me a reason to. But there has to be something for these movies to keep going. And I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm not saying that they're complete dog water. They're good, but we need the risks. Overall, if you guys want to see this, go see it in theaters. I saw it in the XD theater. I loved it. The feeling of the explosions. Some of the hits in these movies from the Na'vi, like, kind of shooting their arrows at the humans. Dang. I felt them in my chest. So, overall, 7 out of 10. Movie was decent. It was good. But again, we need to kind of step up a little bit. Alright? 2026 is coming up in a couple weeks. If nothing comes out this week that I can review or any games that I want to talk about, I have a full review of what I want to talk about next year. I have a list of movies, games I need to find of, and maybe TV shows. But there's a lot coming out next year, folks. It's going to be a big one. We got some great stuff to talk about. And I'll catch you guys in my next review. Peace.